Well, in other news, the memory hold killer, Waukesha killer, the Christmas killer himself, is on trial. And Alex Jones hit with a $1 billion verdict in regards to Sandy Hook.
Damn!
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this is what's next. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo here. Another episode of What's Next, your daily dose as always. Happy Friday. Well, in my last video, I talked about how it's been a long and crazy week. Of course, we had the J6 Clown Show hand down what was inevitable, the subpoena against Donald Trump. Well, in other news, Alex Jones gets hit with a $1 billion judgment to pay up regarding Sandy Hook and, of course, the memory hold Waukesha killer. Yes, the Christmas killer himself. He's on trial. Let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. Alex Jones ordered to pay $965 million in Sandy Hook judgment. Waterbury, Connecticut. Radio host Alex Jones is ordered to pay $965 million to people who suffered from past false claims that the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was a hoax, a jury in Connecticut decided Wednesday. The verdict is the second biggest judgment against InfoWars host over unproven claims that the 2012 massacre never happened, and that grieving families seen in news coverage were actors hired as a part of a plot to take away people's guns. Ouch. It came in a lawsuit filed by the relatives of 5 children and 3 educators killed in the mass shooting, plus an FBI agent who was among the first responders on the scene. A Texas jury in August awarded nearly $50 million to the parents of another slain child. Some plaintiffs hugged in the courtroom after the verdict was read. Jones wasn't there, but live video from the court played on a split screen of his InfoWars show. Quote, "Hey folks, don't go buying big homes," he said. The trial featured tearful testimony from parents and siblings and victims who told about how they were threatened and harassed for years by people who believed the lies of Alex Jones's show. Strangers showed up to their home to record them. People hurled abusive comments at social media, on social media, Erica Lafferty, the daughter of slain Sandy Hook principal Dawn Hawksbury, testified that the people that mailed rape threats to her house. Mark Barden told of how conspiracy theorists had urinated on the grave of his 7-year-old son, Daniel, and threatened to dig up the coffin. Wow. Testifying during the trial, Jones acknowledged had been wronged about Sandy Hook. The shooting was real, he said. But both in the courtroom and on his show, he was defiant. He called the proceedings a kangaroo court, mocked the judge, called plaintiffs' lawyers an abusive ambulance chaser, and labeled the case as an affront to free speech rights. He claimed that it was a conspiracy by Democrats and the media to silence him and put him out of business. "I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry," he said during his testimony. 26 children, 6 adults died in a shooting, December 14, 2012. The defamation trial was held in a courtroom in Waterbury, about 20 miles from Newtown, where the attack took place. The lawsuit accuses Jones and InfoWars parent company Free Speech Systems of using the mass killing to build his audience and make millions of dollars. Experts testified that the Jones audience swelled when he made Sandy Hook a topic on his show, as did his revenue from product sales. In both Texas lawsuit and one in Connecticut, judges found the company liable for damages by default after Jones failed to cooperate with court rules on shared evidence, including failing to turn over records that might have shown whether InfoWars had profited from knowingly spreading misinformation about mass killings. We go from that to this. This comes out of Daily Wire. Alleged Waukesha, no, there is no alleged, killer Waukesha Christmas parade mocks victims in court while demanding that the case be dismissed. Yeah, remember Waukesha? Remember that? A 40-year-old man who killed 6 people, wounding dozens more when he ran them over last year at a Christmas parade in Waukesha. I said a couple of years in the beginning. Wow, it was just a year ago. It was just over a year ago. Wow. Wisconsin demanded in court this week that his case be dismissed because there were no victims present to face him. The Daily Wire is not naming or showing photographs of the killer due to company policy. about not giving notoriety to those allegedly carrying out the mass murders, as studies have suggested that the media coverage of these events can have a significant impact on the psyches of those who carried out the atrocities, because it often gives them attention that they crave. True. The suspect, who fired his public defenders and now represents himself, Smart, went on a 50-minute rant in court Thursday morning about why the case against him needs to be dismissed. Quote, "Where's the injured party? Where's the injured party present in the court right now?" The suspect fumed. Can anyone make a claim against me? Can you make a claim against me, Your Honor? Do you know if anyone can make a claim against me, Your Honor? Can anyone in the court, anyone, make a claim against me? Yeah, it's getting a little repetitive. He continued, and because of that, Your Honor, the motion to dismiss should be granted based on that alone. There is no injured party in this matter. So who makes the claim? Who? Yeah, because that's the rants of a sane man. The killer is accused of driving his red Ford Escape into the crowd gathered to watch Waukesha's annual Christmas parade, November 21st of 21, ramming dozens of parade watchers and killing 6, including an 8-year-old boy. The defendant faces 76 felonies of misdemeanor charges, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. The alleged killer, the killer, complained that in an interview last year about how he was being treated after the attack, claiming that he was dehumanized and demonized. I'm sure it was because he was black. Fox News reported that the suspect, previous to the killings in Waukesha, had a rap sheet that was 50 pages long and included criminal charges involving attacks on women and members of his family. On Alex Jones. Wow. Almost a $1 billion verdict. Order for him to pay. Wow. But I've said in my other social media, I've twittered out that, to me, from the very get-go, for him to make comments like that regarding the situation in Sandy Hook was asinine. It was stupid. It was moronic. It was dumb. It was idiotic. Name a word that describes this. And for the parents and family members and friends of that area of Sandy Hook, of Newtown, to still be haunted by this because of the trials that continue to go on, it's not fair to them. It's not fair to them. Now, do I think this $1 billion verdict is excessive? Maybe, because he is Alex Jones. But at the same time, this is something that's going to be appealed. It's going to be challenged. And in most cases like this, when such a huge monetary verdict is handed out, usually it gets cut down. So we're going to see how this goes. But of course, again, a third trial is around the corner for him. So right now, it is just looking uglier and uglier for Alex Jones. But in regards to the Waukesha killer, of course, he is the Christmas killer. And of course, he got memory hold by most of legacy media because he was black. Had it been a white guy who ran over a bunch of people on Christmas, Christmas parade, and killed a bunch of people, guarantee you his name, his likeness would have been blasted across the airwaves. And that's a fact. That is just a fact. But for him to represent himself in court, I think is dumb, but I think it's smart because it'll be that much faster to put his ass in jail and bury an ass. He's a piece of shit. And he deserves everything that's coming to him, including a nice little room in hell. But for the families involved of this tragedy, it's a shame that only some of their testimony or interviews have been out there, only because of how the media has treated them versus treating the killer. Because, of course, they treat the killer as a victim. And the actual true victims, they don't give two fucks about. Outside of a handful like Tucker and others, you didn't hear from them. And some of them, it was understandably that they didn't want to be heard from. They just want this to go away. They want resolvement. They want closing. So hopefully they bury this son of a bitch. With that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.